The value of a man's life is not in duration. Life was never designed to be calculated in duration. Life was designed to be calculated in the essence of God that is witnessed to in time. You can celebrate birthdays until you are 100. It's a waste. Until your life becomes a channel through which God flows into your context. Life is not duration based. Life is God expressed through human vessels. The idea of life is not material possession. You can own $1 billion. You can have cars and institutions. But if God is not there, it is Babel. And when it becomes a tower, God himself will destroy it. Everything we have is a tool for advancing divinity. The idea was the ability of man to come into koinonia and express God afterwards. So when we look at men, what we should trace is the dimension of God that they carry. Man has no identity in Zion except as he becomes an expression of a dimension of deity. So if you study Hebrews chapter 11, he didn't remember what they had in time. Noah created an ark that was to save the whole world. It was not captured in the Chronicles of Zion. When the records of Noah's life were written, he said when God spake, Noah moved with reverence. So the fear of God in the life of Noah was the channel for communicating God. That was the only thing that crossed into eternity. The gifts of the Spirit that Noah had were not written in eternity. It is not needed there. Because eternity is a realm of perpetual continuum. You don't need word of knowledge. Noah built an ark for 100 years. And everything Noah built, he saw it in the Spirit. But that was not written. The only thing that was captured was the fear of God. Because that fear of God was what captured the dimension of God that Noah represented in time. The Bible said in Genesis 24 from verse 1 that Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and the Lord had blessed him in all things. That is mortal record. When you enter into the immortal realm, they didn't capture the silver and gold that Abraham had. It was his faith that resonated in Zion. It was his faith. That was the only thing that resonated in Zion. Among men, mundane things can be numbered, not among spirits. You know, you can be fair, and then it's priority. That is in time. When we enter Zion, we'll be clothed with light. So you will not know who was black or who was fair. So if you lived your life about your skin, you wasted. Because when you appear in Zion, they will check you. What is the signature of God that you captured in time? Moses was a prince in Egypt. He was one of the candidates that could become a pharaoh. But when Moses entered Zion, they didn't remember that he was in Egypt. The only thing that was captured was that he saw him that was invincible. And when he was come of age, he refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than the pleasures of Egypt, which is for a season, because he saw him that was invincible. So the life of Moses was a definition of faithfulness and perpetual obedience. So when we say glory, we are actually trying to troubleshoot the meaning of life. It says, for all have sinned and falling short of the glory of God. That means the glory of God is what defines life. The signature of life is the glory of God that human vessel can capture. The story of life is the possibility through grace for mortality to host immortality. The story of life is the possibility through the wisdom of God for mortals to be able to host deity, and they can communicate him in this realm. The Christianity that was given to us is a Christianity of breakthrough. So we judge our lives and value system by material possession. Material possession became important because we fell. When Adam was in Eden, material things were not his asset. They were tools. I will show you the 8 articles of glory, so you will know what to pursue in time. Because you are actually in time, but you are a creature of eternity. Everything you have in time is an avenue and a tool given to you to advance your nativity, which is Zion. If you don't know it, material things will become your God and you will be lost in this realm. It's like a man flying from Nigeria to Italy and then they stop in Spain, and then you now come down in Spain, you now build a house, and then you start having pleasure in Spain. You forgot where you were going. You are a story that God is telling from heaven. You are actually passing from eternity past into eternity future. This is transit. You know, spirits don't know breakthrough. Because if a spirit gives you a jet, the reason is because it wants to fast track your movement so that you can meet up with the assignment that is in your hand. Because where they live, they don't need planes to move. They travel by whirlwind. Come on, sing that song with if a spirit gives you a job, it's not a breakthrough. It's a platform for you to give expression to kingdom. So he needs an ambassador, and you are the only one, so he sent you there. You are actually running an errand. But if we judge life from earth, our definitions and value system will be perverted. So when you have money, you begin to think of what you spend it on. Meanwhile, there was a project in heaven that you were made the project manager that made you have that money. But you may spend that money and never execute that project. So when you appear in Zion, they now begin to check the lexicon of your destiny. And they tell you this and this and this was what you should do. That's why you had this 10 million. But when they check from Zion, 10 million became gold watch and diamond ring and a trip to Bahama Island. So you are a creature of time. You would have lived for 70 years. But when you get to heaven, they will say, you didn't appear in the radar. You know, when God came to the garden and he was looking for Adam, he said, Adam, where art thou? God is omniscient. He knows all things. What was happening is that Adam had dislodged from the rank where he stood in Zion. He was the watcher over the earth. So when God came to his office, he was not there. He was in the garden, but he had fallen. Among the princes of heaven in the galaxies of God, Adam was no longer standing as a prince. So it was not about garden. It was about where are you standing in the spirit. Because the guy had fallen. Meanwhile, he was still in Eden. Maybe when God came, he was eating an apple. He didn't know that the goal was not to stay with apples. He was there as a watcher because he said, dress the garden and keep it. The word dress is the word for priesthood. That means through priesthood legislation, make Eden earth, heaven on earth. The word keep is the word for kingdom. It means advance everything in Eden to dominate the earth. So when I come, the whole earth will become Eden, and Eden is heaven. But Adam was pursuing apples. They say, Kai, this fruit is good for food. He's a creature of time. You know, when we want to discuss the subject of glory, the foundation is robust. Because people, most times we don't know why we are on earth. Most times we don't know. That's why we struggle to survive so much. But if they say, why are you here? Most times there is no answer. The reason is because we were not taught how to live from heaven. Christianity is not a religion. It's divinity expressed through humanity. How much of God you carry is the testimony of your Christian life, not the title. I want to show you the glory is actually the wealth of man. The wealth. The Bible calls it the commonwealth of Israel. So if you look at the civilization of Israel, they built their houses. The life of the Israeli company is around the ark where the glory dwells. It is called the commonwealth of Israel. So if your life has no reference to the ark, you are not an Israelite. So they live their lives around the tabernacle and the ark in the Holy of Holies is what defines their reference. So if they come to the end of the year, all of them comes to a shutdown until the high priest enters into the ark and makes atonement for them. That is what defines their existence. So all of them live as partakers of the glory. Because without the glory, there's no life. This is what we fight for. The quality of your life has nothing to do with what you have. Everything you have is a two. And if you have more, it means your responsibility is more. This is Christianity. Christianity is the life of glory.